Welcome back to the TD Ameritrade Network. Let's talk some more movers. Let's go across asset classes for a sec and talk some futures, beginning with what's going on with gold. Scott Bauer is with us, the CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Scott, we're now basically at a year-to-date low for gold. We know that it had a nice little rally throughout some of the volatility of 2018, but now what? Is it fading because everything is good in the world and nobody needs to hold bullion?
Yeah, I mean, there's actually a perfect storm here to the downside, which I personally think is a little bit overreaction. So, yeah, equity markets are flying, right? So that's number one. We've also seen a big uptick in rates over the last 3 weeks or so since, you know, the big uproar about the inverted yield curve. So that's number two. Number three, what happened overnight tonight, and we saw huge selling volume actually come into the marketplace overnight, is apparently Venezuela actually came in and sold about $400 million worth of gold to, you know, to kind of offset what's going on with a bunch of these sanctions. So that could have been the big drop overnight tonight. But overall, the macro picture in the short run is really because equities are flying here and rates have ticked up.
All right, so then it's kind of what you would expect, I guess, with this kind of risk-on, you know, event that's occurred year to date. But you're just saying, look, maybe we need a little bit more confirmation that whatever was driving gold is completely gone. Because we did have this real strong move to the upside, right? And what? So none of the things driving that apply anymore?
Well, you know, it took so long for gold to actually catch up with all the geopolitical risk, all the you know, world economic risks that was out there. And then it did. But now when you look at some of those risks that was driving that price well above 1,300, Oliver, Brexit. Well, you know, now you've got another stall in Brexit. So that's, you know, kind of off the table for right now. It's obviously there, but that concern is kind of off the table. The continued talks between the U.S. and China. So you've got that risk kind of off the table here. You've got oil prices, you know, those have rallied nicely, at least not for people paying at the pump, but those have rallied nicely. So you have kind of those concerns that really hit the gold market to the upside and provided tailwinds going in, you know, kind of to the latter part of 2018. Those have abated somewhat.
Yeah. All right. So, Scott, and the other day, it was interesting as we had a little, you know, with that gold weakness, you had a little Bitcoin weakness, but that didn't last long because apparently it does trade differently than the precious metal, at least for now. You got a little pop. Is the resilience around this kind of, what are we at, like 5,000-ish level, getting you interested in trading crypto again for Bitcoin?
Well, so we had this conversation last week.
You said 55,
and, you know, you asked
right?
me where I was getting in. And 55, and it got to 54 and change, right? 55 is that next big psychological hurdle. I didn't buy it. It never got to 55. When it does, though, I'm in for the short run because it's a psychological trade. Now, you could look to what I think you had posted. Was it John McAfee just posted?
Yeah, everyone's
it's going
back,
to
baby.
$1 million bucks, right? Everyone's back. It's going to $1 million by the end of next year, right? No, but in all seriousness here, there's a case to be said, at least for the short run here, that the big run-up that we had, and then, you know, some profit taking, but that thing held 4,900, 5,000, but still on really, really high volume. That's a good sign, at least for the short run here.
All right. Hey, you know, look, it's doing, you know, I think it kind of goes with what we were saying, right? You've got this risk-on move, and it's like all of a sudden my feed is blowing up again, Scott. People telling me it's going to like $1 jillion. Come on, are we doing this again?
No, you're still shorted from 19,000. You're good. What are you talking about?
Right.
No, it's you know, short time here. Short time.
Okay, we'll see. I don't know. It feels like whenever Bitcoin moves sideways, you know, there's usually a big move to follow. Since that initial pop,
there is.
You know, a couple weeks back, it's kind of been overall just moving sideways, right? Not a lot of big moves here.
It is, but again, look at that volume.
Yeah.
When we've had those consolidation periods before, we've seen, you know, volume here at the CME down around a couple thousand, maybe 2,500 contracts a day. We're still upwards of almost 7,000 contracts a day, which is not like where it was last week, 2 weeks ago, but still that volume is huge. And then, you know, the total notional dollars that are being traded in this thing, the volume is still there, Oliver, so there's still a lot of interest.
All right, cool, good stuff. And you're right. That really is, I think, the unique part of what's happening this time around. You really are seeing some pretty decent volume on the future. Scott Bauer joining us from Prosper Trading Academy. He's the CEO. Love it. Scott, always a pleasure chatting with you. We'll be right back.